All right, everybody. I got it. My Jimenez Arms 380. Like I said, I originally was I polished it up to be all chrome because it was beat up really bad, and then I decided to paint it, and actually it turned out very nice. A nice, beautiful matty black finish on it. Looks amazing. I do have extra parts. Like I said, this gun was beat up and wasn't working. Half the internal parts, the firing pin and everything was missing on it. So I was able to order, the grips were all busted up and it was abused. It was thrown in a toolbox and broken and everything else. But I brought it back to life, and like I said, I was able to order some new parts off eBay, like a new slide and barrel and a bunch of springs and firing pin and everything. And in one of my other videos, I showed you guys how I took out the barrel out of the barrel off of here and got it nice and clean and shiny. So if you want to check that out, you can. But this is a complete breakdown of everything except for the trigger. Everything else has been changed and replaced and whatever. Here's the original slide I had with it. And then, like I said, I bought an extra one. And if you see my other, I did a short, you could see where I had it all polished up. It was all chrome. And then just for the heck of it, I said, I'm going to just regular black flat spray paint. And it looks absolutely amazing. Like, I love it, you know. There's a few little parts to this gun. It's not a lot, to be honest with you. But I would recommend make sure you keep track of everything because there is a few little parts. So we're going to assemble this bad boy back together and I'll show you guys how it goes. It's very simple design. So you have your little spring here. The problem with this gun is when the slide is on, the way to take the slide off, you got to raise up on the back end up here once you get it going, but you almost always scrape up the back of it here and it looked like shit, and I didn't like that. So that was one of the main reasons why I decided to do this, because it just looked like crap and I didn't like it. So here you have this here. This you can see the back part of it here. This has to be facing the rear of the gun. Make sure I can get that in there good. Yeah, so it should look like this when you insert it into the back of the gun with the spring inside of it. This holds down the sear in the whole trigger assembly. So like this, where that's facing the rear. And then here's like your little sear, whatever, for the trigger. You hold this down here and this locks in place right in here. Very simple, just like that. It goes inside just like this. And then you have your safety lever on here, which is a weird design because the handles hold most of this gun together, you know, like its internal parts and stuff. A lot of the parts, the handles hold most of it together here, covers it up, you know what I mean? A little weird, but very simple design. You have your spring here that just obviously just slides right in. And then you have your firing pin and the spring for the firing pin. So you just push the firing pin in, put the spring in there. Some of the ones, they have that little orange piece that goes on the end. I don't have that on mine. I could have got it. It wasn't a big deal to me. I didn't want it sticking out of the orange piece sticking out of my gun that's you know, nicely painted or chrome, and you got a little orange piece sticking out the back. Very simple to put them back together because, like I said, you can't really make a mistake because the parts only go one way on the gun. You know what I mean? You can only put it in one way or it's not going to work. And then this piece here that goes on the back of the spring here, your firing pin would go on like this to the rear. This is the piece that you have to raise up on when you're taking the slide and barrel off. So be careful because it's under spring tension, so it will fly off if you're not careful with how you're doing it. But again, it's very, very easy to get it in. Like I said, you can only go one way. Like I said, it goes in like this. So you have this opening and it's to the rear that holds the firing pin and the spring and everything in there together. And then here we have our extractor here. That's the only piece that I left chrome. That goes right here. And you can see the firing pin inside right there. But there's a real tiny little spring that goes inside of here that holds the extractor, and it's very, very small. And you got to be very careful to get it in there because it wants to fly out. But it's a very tiny, small spring. So that sits down right inside here on the slide, and then the extractor right here goes on top of it like this. And then there's a pin that goes from the top of the slide, and it's goes all the way down inside the slide, right down into here. But you got to be very careful with that slide. I mean that extractor pin and spring, because it's very easy for it to fall out and lose it. Very simple. So be extra careful with it. I forgot about it, that this spring was even in there when I took it apart. And then, but there's nothing that really holds it in place. It basically kind of just sits down inside right there. See that little spring right there? It basically just sits right down in there. And then you put your extractor on there. This little piece of the extractor right here sits down on top of that spring. So it's not much holding it in there except for the actual pin itself. But once you get that in place, then you can, once everything that's all lined up, and then you can drive your pin in. Again, a real tiny small pin right there that goes down in from the top of the slide. Let me see if I can get this in here without making a mess or scraping anything up. I have a little like pin punch that I used to punch it out with from the bottom. Let me see how I'm gonna get this back in from the top without scratching up this paint job on there. But it's fairly simple to put back together. It actually wasn't hard at all. You could take it apart in just a few minutes. Once you get the pins and everything out. So just like that, I'll put the pin down a little further. Let me get my lot of little parts. Some, like I said, you gotta be extra careful with them because you can lose them very easily if you're not careful with it. So just get that pin pushed in all the way. Let me find a better pin. I don't want to pound on it. Like I said, I just painted it all up really nice. I put about 2 or 3 coats on it. Like I said, just a flat, matty black finish on there. It came out really nice. So I'm happy with it. So now we got that together. We can put the spring back in there for the firing pin. Yeah, the way it comes apart, like I said, it's almost impossible not to scratch the rear of the gun, and I don't like that at all because I don't want my gun scratched. But and then, like I said, the handle here basically holds all the trigger housing assembly all together in there. So when you squeeze the trigger, you can see this here goes up and down. Oops, see, it just popped out. But you get the idea. It's very simple. But like I said, if you're not careful, because these are under spring tensions, they will fly out. But once you get the handles on there, they're not going anywhere. They don't move. And the handles I ordered, they're pretty nice. They're almost new. Like I said, I bought a bunch of little pieces off eBay for like $20, but it was all the major pieces that I was missing. And then the safety lever here, it has a little spring right here. And you can't put it in the wrong spot because it gives you the outline for it right here, how it's got to go. Yeah, see that hook right there? It goes right down here. It's very simple. Once you get it, it sits down inside that little groove right there. Yeah, right in there. And then here's your safety lever. Again, not much to it, not a lot that holds this little gun in place, but it does its job. And then you put your safety switch on there. It says fire and safe. And then once you put your handle on there, that holds that spring and everything in place right there. Again, very simple design. I'm going to put these screws on, and I don't want that stuff to fall out of there. I should have painted the top heads of the screws. I forgot. They're a little beat up. But like I said, I'm real happy with the outcome on how it came out, the matty black finish. It's really nice. I like it a lot. Let me get a better screwdriver. Like I said, I put a couple good coats on it. It was very, very rough looking shape, and like I said, wasn't working. But I did get it to work finally, got everything together, and I'm no gunsmith at all, guys. Like I said, I'm a retired millwright, but it's pretty simple to take it apart and put it back together, or you can look for videos on how to do this and how to do that. You don't need to take it to a gunsmith. You could do it yourself. I prefer to do it myself because I love to learn new things. And there's the safety there. See how that works. Now the trick is getting this barrel on here now without scratching anything up. Because I said that, you'll see in a second. Getting this on here is kind of rough because you gotta get this down in here and then lift up to where it catches in this hole right here, and that's how you scrape up your guns. It's a little weird, but like I said, so that's how it would look from the rear of it. So now you got to lift up the gun and push this down so it locks inside that groove right there. And that's how you do it when you take it off. But you got to be very careful because, like I said, this is under spring tension. This whole firing pin spring and stuff will fly right out of the back of the gun. So if you're not careful, you got to be careful. Let me see if I can get this in here without scratching up the gun at all. There. So we got it on, and everything is working good. There you go. That's it, guys. That's the new black Jimenez Arms 380. And I'll probably paint the bottom of the mag. I got a couple extra mags with it, but thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But that's regular old flat black spray paint, guys. It looks really good on there. Thanks for watching, everybody.